Who are you?
I'm Jay the Retard.
Hello, Jay. Welcome to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Thanks.
Hey, Jay, are you still into smashing disco balls?
No, they got too expensive. I stopped. I smashed the last disco ball I smashed was the empty bottles in Chicago's, and I stopped from there.
So explain a bit about this. You had a habit of smashing disco balls. What did you do? What do you see from the stage when you're performing?
Well, it originated from in Europe. As soon as a punk show ends, I was just really pissed me off when first time I went over there when I was probably like 17 or 18. As soon as the punk show ends, the disco ball comes down and this Euro disco music comes on, and I thought, well, you can't have a disco without a disco ball. So you kill the ball, you kill the party. But somehow they still listen to their music and afterwards. But it was, I don't know, I guess that's where it came from.
And Jay Retard, speaking of buildings and touring and stuff, did you really clean toilets?
Yeah, totally. I worked for a company called Two Chicks and a Broom.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Was that like enviro-friendly toilet cleaning?
Yes. We were a environmentally friendly company. I used a lot of vinegar and lemon juice to clean things.
So were you assigned to do the toilets? How did that happen? Two Chicks and a Broom and Jay Retard.
Well, I just needed money. You don't necessarily get it. You have to clean the whole house. So you get to make the people's beds, pick up their panties, clean their toilets, everything. So you get very close to these people.
So it wasn't just specifically toilets then?
No, not specifically toilets. Anything.
Jay Retard, you guys took a lot of Greyhounds to gigs, didn't you? How many Greyhounds did you take to gigs?
Plenty. I guess the first tour I did, I took a lot of Greyhounds. I don't even know how many. I guess if there's frequent flyer miles on the Greyhound, I would have a free trip to somewhere.
That's pretty awesome, taking a Greyhound to a gig. Was it just you? How did that work? What about the rest of the band? And who was the band at that time?
The band at that time was this guy Rich Crook and this other guy named Steve Albundy.
What do you mean? Like, did they take the Concorde and you took the Greyhound?
No, we all took the Greyhound. It was we would get together and we'd pack up peanut butter sandwiches and hit the Greyhound and go on tour.
What gigs did you play? Whereabouts did you go from? What, Memphis to LA? Where did you go on the Greyhound?
The first trip was from Memphis to Phoenix, Arizona. It's 32 hours.
And you miss your home, don't you, occasionally, right, Jay? Memphis, Tennessee?
Sure, I miss my dog more than Memphis.
Well, I can see that you're missing Memphis right now, so I've brought you a little gift here, Jay, for you and your band. What could this be, Jay Reatard?
I don't know, let's see.
A present for Jay. Welcome to Vancouver. It is
a Sun Studio sleeveless t-shirt.
Yes, that's what I thought. If any band could sport the sleeveless, extra large Sun shirt, it would be Jay Reatard's band, right?
Yeah, Steve is the sleeveless guy over here in the background. The guy standing off over there. Yeah, I like sleeves because I have ugly armpits.
Steve standing. Oh, Steve, come on over, Steve. Is this a good present?
Yeah, do you mind if I try it on?
Yeah, go ahead. Is this a good present for the Reatards?
It's fantastic. Actually, I've made a vow that I got this temporary tattoo that's almost gone.
It's been on there for 2 weeks.
I'm going to wear sleeveless shirts until this is gone, just to show off the tattoo. So this is an amazing gift.
Specifically also, though, Sun Records, Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, birthplace of blues, home of the rock and roll.
Have you had interactions at all with the Sun Records studios? Have you been by there? Have you met any of the Sun Cats?
I used to sleep with a girl that worked there.
Did she tell you any secrets? Did you get to sleep over there?
No, I didn't even get any deals on those things. They still would have cost $18.
That looks amazing.
Thank you.
And who are you again for the people that are watching?
Who am I?
Yes, who are you?
I'm Stephen Pope.
From?
Blair from Jay Reatard from Memphis, Tennessee.
And big fan of the Sun Records label.
Huge fan.
Well, I guess what I was wondering about Nashville Cats, too, like, when you're in Nashville, have any Nashville Cats approached you, kind of like, hey, do you want to write some songs for somebody?
I put a song in this movie called Dish Dogs. It was a movie about skateboarding, and a guy asked me if I would be willing to put there's a scene in a Toby Keith biopic where
What an honor!
Toby Keith is supposed to be walking into the wrong bar. He shows up in Nashville to make it. He walks into the wrong bar, and their retards are playing in the background. It didn't work out. I was kind of bummed because Shockin' Y'all is an amazing record.
How about like Waffle House and stuff? Have you spotted anybody at Waffle Houses?
Not too many people. I know Jared from this band, The Ponies, loves Waffle House.
Waffle House too. Scattered, covered, creamed, reamed.
Smothered. Yeah, last time we ate there, actually, we ate there with the band The Ponies, and I think every person who ate food there threw up immediately in the parking lot.
On steaming hot. On the
And I think it was pink, too. It was pink vomit, but you had just eaten a waffle.
I ate nothing that was pink at Waffle House, but I vomited and it was neon pink.
But that's a sign of a great meal, isn't it? Like, you still want to go back, even though you vomited?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe it was pink because of the ketchup. Got to have a lot of ketchup with Waffle House.
On tour here, you've been mentioning clothing has been a bit of a problem. Well, up until now, of course, the Sun Records muscle tee.
It's a big problem. No laundry, but go to Walmart, get a pack of socks, a pack of T-shirts, wear them until they're stained. That one looks pretty fresh.
I still have the crease right here. I throw my clothes away. I'm not an eco-friendly punk rocker. I throw them away when the crease is gone.
Well, speaking of punk rock, it's really great that you guys have already conquered punk rock.
Conquered.
You guys have conquered punk rock already.
I mean, we
we invented the will, man.
Yeah, the Reatards have conquered punk rock already because you have already been on the cover of...
Maximum Rock and Roll, the greatest magazine ever.
And I noticed this happened in December 2006, so like you've won. This is pretty cool though, the cover of Maximum Rock and Roll, isn't it?
Some people work their entire lives and you can they just quit after this, but not me. You know, I have new things to conquer like indie rock.
That's what I thought. Thank you for acknowledging that too, because it's great. Yeah, you've got the punk rock down, now the indie rock comes on. Is that going to be a hard battle?
Not as hard as the metal one will be after indie rock.
Oh, right.
We're definitely after indie rock. Indie rock's easy. People are wimps in indie rock. We can conquer it like I think 6 months. It took me 10 years to do this. 6 months tops. Indie rock. I'm done, and we're on to metal. So.
Jay, in this Maximum Rock and Roll, it mentions something about your neighborhood having Crips in it. Was it that tough growing up in Memphis?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I definitely. I mean, you know, if you like to smoke blunts and hang out with the Crips, it's pretty easy. But you know, otherwise, maybe it's not the place to be.
What do you think about growing up in Memphis? Were you a Memphiser too?
I was a Memphiser, but I was my story is a little different than Jay's. My parents took care of me. And they still do. Actually, every time I get home from tour, my mom bakes me my favorite meal, and she does all my laundry and folds it up for me.
What is your favorite meal?
My mom makes this dish called Spanish Delight, which isn't Spanish, and it's not a delight. It's noodles, hamburger meat, corn, and some strange brown sauce.
Can you call that your parents taking care of you? Come on.
Have you tried it all, Jay? Have you been invited over?
No, Steven's parents fancy me, actually. It's surprising. I thought they would hate me, but his parents seem to be very hospitable.
Jay and the Reatards, here we are in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. In Canada, you're friends with a Canadian band.
CPC Gangbangs?
Close, another band called King...
Crimson?
No, King Kong and the Shrine.
Oh, yeah.
And I interviewed King Kong from King Kong and the Shrines, and he said Jay Reatard once put Easy Off on his penis, covered it in motor oil, lit a match, and then jumped in a cesspool.
I cannot deny that.
What the hell was going on there? That's incredible.
It was just, you know, a punk show in Jackson, Mississippi in the middle of nowhere. It's kind of bored. I thought I would just kind of, you know, get the party going. Nothing like some Easy Off on the balls to get things going, man.
Jay, who are we joined by right now?
This is Billy.
Hello, Billy.
Hi. How are you?
Welcome to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Thank you.
I was just going after some of the stuff that King Kong had said. He also had said that you have a Cucamonga tattoo. Is that true?
No, the only tattoo I have is a caricature of Einstein. Here.
And there it is.
Yes. He's been drawing this caricature since he was a child, and we all got it on our arms, so we all have Einsteins.
It also looks like Garfield and Jerry Garcia.
People have thought it's Jerry Garcia?
Yeah.
You don't tell people it's Einstein, they don't know.
What can you say, Jay, about this particular song that you covered? Freestone, Bummer Bitch.
I've always been a fan of novelty punk. So this happens to be my favorite novelty punk song ever. I couldn't put much significance behind it except that I just really wanted to say "suck my balls" in a song, and they had already done it. So
Yeah, what can you tell the people about novelty punk and Freestone?
They're one of the best. Helen Keller from Seattle, or another novelty punk favorite of mine as well. But I don't know too much about them except that they were a prog rock band and the B-side's unlistenable.
Just for an update, how many records and how many songs have you put out roughly?
20 full lengths maybe. And maybe 40 something singles. I don't know. Maybe that comes to like 400 songs or something.
Like, that is incredible. 20 full lengths. And how old are you?
28.
28. So you got a bit of catching up to do then.
Yeah, I have to slow down at some point.
So like 28 full lengths.
Oh yeah. If I could get to where every year I just have 8 more and I can catch up totally.
There should be no problem to do that.
Maybe. Well, contracts kind of get in the way of that, don't they?
Jay, you've been inspired by a lot of people. Well, Maximum Rock and Roll, of course. But what can you tell people about this particular gentleman here, Greg Cartwright, and the raining sound on the cover of Razor Cake?
Yeah, man. Greg's a great guy. He was one of the first people to take the time out to play music with me. I tricked the guys at Goner into thinking I actually had a band. I made fake names, and a guy named Joe and a guy named Jason. Those are really generic names. So I put them on the tape, and I gave them to Eric, and he's like, you guys want to play the show with this band from Japan, Gasoline? I go, yeah, totally, we'll do it. And then I called him a week later and go, I lied, I don't have a band. And the posters were made. So he called Greg up and was like, will you play with this guy? And Greg drove out to my mom's house, and they smoked some weed, and we practiced.
Another person that was on the cover of Razor Cake. Can you guess who that might be, Jay, on the cover of Razor Cake fanzine?
Alicia Trout or Cobain?
Alicia Trout.
Whoa, look at that. I've never seen this. That's a weird. Yeah. It's.
What can you say about Alicia Trout and her band and your band, The Lost Sounds? Another integral part of J Reatard.
Alicia Trout's a really talented girl. I probably, not to take like a sexist kind of view, but I'm not a big fan of female vocalists, and she was the one girl I'd play music with. So.
I thought you weren't a big fan of synthesizers, but then you kind of bit the bullet and did the synthesizer thing with her.
Yeah, she forced me into it. You know, it's kind of one of those things. You start dating, and the next thing you know, you're playing a synthesizer.
Well, thanks so much, Jay. Thanks for bringing your band, and thank you, Retards, for coming to Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Anything else you want to add to the people out there at all?
I don't think I have anything else to add. No.
Thanks to Leafy Green Booking.
Thanks to Leafy Green Booking. Adam Shore.
Because Leafy Green also book No Means No from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
I'm just trying to milk out the Canadian connections. Any more Canadian connections for you guys we haven't mentioned at all?
I have a good Canadian connection. My girlfriend's uncle is Steve Shutt.
No way, from the Montreal Canadiens?
Yeah.
How did Steve Shutt's girlfriend end up with you?
MySpace.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna get to meet him at her father's wedding in a few weeks, and we're gonna talk Rush. He's a big Rush fan. I guess he went to high school with Geddy Lee and all the guys in Rush, and they made a pact their senior year of high school. We're gonna drop out, fuck high school, we're gonna make it, and they all did we're gonna make it, and then they all did.
That's incredible. So it's your girlfriend's uncle that is Steve Shutt?
Yes, Steve Shutt. He lives in Alabama now.
What's he doing down there?
Retired and not playing hockey.
And you know what's really amazing, to further the Canadian No Means No connection, your booking agent is, of course, Leafy Green.
Yes.
They handle No Means No.
Yes.
No Means No also perform as the Hanson Brothers.
Oh, yeah, the hockey, pop-punk hockey band.
So you got to book a tour with the Hanson Brothers and Jay Reatard, and if Steve Shutt can come out and perform with both bands.
And only if we can get the McCrackens to open up, then it'll just be a big party.
That would be incredible. McCracken's from Vancouver.
Yeah.
Thank you for remembering them.
Yeah.
Chicken and the Egg, they're incredible pop punk.
Well, and a dog at one point.
Where did you see the McCrackens? In Europe? They were huge in Europe.
I'd never seen them. I ordered their records out of Maximum Rock and Roll, $3 postage paid.
And little did you know that eventually you would end up on the cover of Maximum Rock and Roll.
You buy enough records out of these ads in here, and they put you on the cover.
Thank you for supporting the McCrackens. Why should people care about Jay Reatard? Why should people care?
I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. I'm surprised every day that anybody cares. So.
Well, thanks much, Retards. And Jay, keep on rocking in the free world and do-do-do-do.
Doot.